How's it going, everybody? I wanted to make a short video on the question that was left in the comments yesterday, which was, why do sows eat their babies? And it's not just sows that do this. Cats, dogs, pigs, a lot of these animals will do it. When they see a runt and they can tell that this baby isn't going to survive, they'll eat the baby, and they will try to get, to get that nutrients back, and they try to give it to the rest of the piglets. It sucks, it's nothing that you want, but, it is a little expected. A good frame of mind to keep whenever you get into farming, homesteading, whatever, is that you need to expect at least a 20 to 30% attrition rate with all of your animals. And you're like, oh my God, that's horrible. That sounds awful. And yeah, it sucks. But it's to be expected. Like, for instance, if you walk away with 10% attrition rate on pigs, you're doing fantastic. Pigs are really bad about stepping on babies and laying on babies. It's one of the biggest things that will kill your herds, like your litters, excuse me, is stepping on them and laying on them. Very seldomly do you have to worry about mom eating them. Now, thankfully, we've solved the laying on them and the stepping on them problem. It's just that the babies, excuse me, we get one that doesn't have an established, is not established in the teat order and doesn't nurse, and 24 hours is going to be dead anyway, and mom ends up eating them. Now, goats, same way. They won't eat them, but if you only lose, let's say you have 4 does, and if you raise sheep, 4 ewes, and let's say that, they have 2 babies apiece. You can have some that have more, but 2 is still a decent size pregnancy especially for Nigerians like I raise. If you lose 1, it's a 50% attrition rate. But let's say out of those 4, you lose 2, you made out all right. It wasn't fantastic. It sucks, but you made out all right. It's normal. And it gets even worse when you get into birds. When you get into chickens and turkeys and all that other jazz. Losing, let's say that you hatch out 21 chicks, you could lose 7 of them. You could lose 6 of them, 5 of them, and you still made out really well. It's gonna suck every time, but it is something to expect. And a lot of people, now I can understand it hurting you a lot more if you are a homesteader, or if you're like a hobby farmer, or if you want to raise these animals and keep them as pets. Obviously that's going to hurt you a lot more, but I want to give you a realistic expectation when raising these animals.